Morning came with footsteps. Ava had spent the night pressed against the cold stone wall, unable to sleep, her mind cycling through everything Nora had told her. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw flashes of things she shouldn't remember, a woman's laugh, warm and musical. Strong hands lifting her onto broad shoulders. A lullaby sung in a language she didn't know but somehow understood. Memories. Real memories from before she was found wandering the woods. The cell door opened. Nora entered, carrying a tray with bread, water, and what looked like dried meat. She set it down within Ava's reach. "Eat," Nora said. "You'll need your strength." Ava didn't move. "I want proof. You can't just tell me I'm some lost heir and expect me to believe it." "Smart." Nora pulled something from her pocket, a small, tarnished silver pendant on a broken chain. She tossed it to Ava. Ava caught it instinctively. The moment her fingers closed around the metal, power jolted through her. Not painful, but recognizing. Like the pendant knew her, had been waiting for her. She turned it over in her palm. The design was intricate, a crescent moon cradling a star, with symbols etched around the edge that made her head swim when she tried to focus on them. "That was your mother's," Nora said quietly. "Elena Moonshadow, Alpha of Lunar Crest. She was wearing it the night she died." Ava's fingers trembled. "How did you get this?" "I was there." Nora's voice went flat, distant. "I was part of the Council's strike force. We were told Lunar Crest had become a threat, that they were planning to overthrow the natural order. We believed we were doing the right thing. You helped kill them." The words tasted like ash. "Yes. No denial, no excuse. I helped slaughter an entire pack, including children. And I've lived with that every day since." Ava looked up sharply. "Why are you telling me this?" "Because I need you to understand what the Council is capable of." Nora moved to the barred window, staring out at the gray dawn. "They convinced good wolves to commit atrocities. They've been controlling pack politics for centuries, deciding who lives, who dies, who gets to have power. And they'll do it again. To me. To everyone you care about, if they think you're a threat." Nora turned back. "Your mother wasn't planning a coup. She'd discovered something, evidence that the Council had been manipulating bloodlines for generations, eliminating any pack that grew too powerful or too independent. She was going to expose them. So they killed her first. They killed everyone. Except you." Nora's expression softened slightly. "Your mother knew the attack was coming. She had enough warning to give you to a trusted friend, someone who took you far from Lunar Crest territory and erased every trace of your identity. That friend died 3 months later. Murdered, we think, though it was made to look like an accident." The pieces kept clicking into place, each one more horrifying than the last. "The Silvermoon Pack found you wandering in the woods shortly after," Nora continued. "Alpha Marcus, Liam's father, must have suspected what you were, but he couldn't prove it. So he kept you close. Waited to see if you'd manifest any Lunar Crest abilities. And when you didn't, he relaxed. Thought maybe you were just a random orphan after all." Nora's smile was grim. "But then you shifted late, which is a Lunar Crest trait. And when you did shift, you survived injuries that should have killed you. Started showing resilience no normal wolf possesses." Ava thought back to the times she'd healed faster than she should have, the strange strength that came from nowhere when she was desperate. She'd always thought it was adrenaline. "Marcus figured it out," she whispered. "That's why Liam broke the bond. His father gave him an ultimatum: sever the connection to you, or watch his entire pack get destroyed for harboring a Lunar Crest heir." Nora's voice gentled. "Liam chose his pack. But he also chose to break the bond in a way that wouldn't kill you, something that required dark magic and cost him dearly." Ava's chest tightened. All this time, she'd thought Liam had rejected her because she wasn't good enough. But he'd been trying to save her life the only way he knew how. It didn't make the pain less real. But it made it more complicated. "What do you want from me?" Ava asked. "Help us destroy the council. Take your rightful place as Lunar Crest Alpha and unite the packs they've been dividing for centuries." Nora crouched down. "Or at minimum, help us expose them. Let the other packs know what's been done in their name. And if I say no? Then you stay here until the council finds you. Which they will." Nora stood. "Your new mate, Ethan, he's already searching. The bond will lead him right to us, and when he comes..." She shook her head. "The council has eyes everywhere, Ava. They'll know the moment a Nightshade Alpha starts tearing through territories looking for a specific female." Fear spiked through Ava. "You're using me as bait. I'm giving you a choice." Nora moved toward the door. "Think about it. I'll be back in an hour." She left. The lock clicked. Ava sat in the silence, the pendant warm against her palm. She could feel it now, a hum of power just beneath her skin, like something sleeping that wanted to wake up. "What am I?" she thought. Her wolf stirred in her mind, and for the first time since the bond with Liam broke, she felt whole. Not broken. Not damaged. Powerful. The hour passed. Then another. Then 3. Nora didn't return. But someone else did. The door opened so quietly Ava almost missed it. A figure slipped inside, male, moving with predatory grace. The scent hit her first, pine and winter frost and something wild that made her wolf sit up with interest. "Mate." Ethan stood in her cell, and Ava's breath caught. In human form, he was devastating. Tall, at least 6'4", with black hair that fell just past his collar and those same amber gold eyes that had locked onto her during the fight. He had sharp features that bordered on harsh, a jaw that looked carved from stone, and shoulders broad enough to carry the weight of an entire pack. He also looked furious. "Are you hurt?" His voice was deeper than Liam's, rougher, with an edge that suggested violence barely contained. Ava shook her head, not trusting her voice. Ethan crossed the space between them in 2 strides, dropping to his knees in front of her. His hands hovered near her face, not quite touching, like he was afraid she might break. "I've been searching for 3 days," he said. 3 days of tearing through every abandoned building, every rogue nest, every hidden location I could find. "Do you have any idea?" He stopped, jaw clenching. "When I felt the bond snap into place during that fight, I thought I was hallucinating. Wolves don't get second-chance mates." "I know," Ava whispered. "But there you were." His fingers finally made contact, brushing her cheek with devastating gentleness. "Golden wolf with eyes that saw straight through me, and every instinct I have screaming mind so loud I couldn't think straight." The mate bond pulsed between them, stronger than anything Ava had ever felt. It wasn't just attraction or recognition, it was completion. Like she'd been missing a part of herself and hadn't even known until this moment. "You shouldn't have come," she said. "It's a trap. They're watching for you." "I don't care." Ethan's thumb traced her jawline. "You're my mate. There's nowhere in this world you could be that I wouldn't follow." The certainty in his voice made her chest ache. This man, this alpha, had known her for all of 30 seconds during a chaotic battle, and he'd still spent 3 days hunting for her. "I don't even know you," Ava breathed. "Then let me fix that." Ethan settled back slightly, giving her space but keeping one hand linked with hers. "My name is Ethan Blackthorne. I'm alpha of the Nightshade Pack in Montana. I'm 32 years old, I take my coffee black, and I've been looking for you for the last 6 months." Ava blinked. 6 months? But we just met. I started having dreams about you 6 months ago. His expression turned almost sheepish. Vivid dreams. A golden wolf running through forests I'd never seen, eyes that glowed in the dark. My pack thought I was losing my mind. Hell, I thought I was losing my mind. That's impossible. So is a second chance mate bond. Ethan's smile was crooked, devastating. Ava, I don't understand what we are or why the moon goddess chose to bind us. But I know what I feel. And I know I'll burn down every territory between here and Silvermoon if that's what it takes to keep you safe. The intensity of his words should have scared her. Instead, they made her feel safe for the first time in days. They told me who I am, Ava said quietly. What I am. I know. Lunar Crest. Ethan's expression darkened. Nora contacted me 2 weeks ago, said she'd found the lost heir and needed my help to protect you from the council. That's why I arranged for you to have sanctuary at Nightshade. I was trying to get you somewhere safe before they made their move. You knew before I did. I suspected. His hand tightened on hers. The dreams showed me more than just your face. They showed me power. Ancient bloodlines. A wolf that could challenge the strongest alphas and win. He paused. They showed me my mate standing in ashes, deciding whether to burn the world or rebuild it. A chill ran down Ava's spine. What did I choose? I always woke up before I could see. Ethan's amber eyes held hers. But I'm hoping you'll choose to rebuild. Preferably with me. Despite everything, the fear, the confusion, the impossible situation, Ava found herself smiling. You don't ask for much, do you? I'm an alpha. We're not known for our humility. His grin was quick, wolfish. Then it faded. Ava, I need you to know something. Whatever you decide about Nora's offer, about the council, about any of this, I'm with you. If you want to fight, I'll stand beside you. If you want to run, I'll help you disappear. If you want to go back to Silvermoon and pretend none of this happened. I can't do that. The words came out firm, certain. Even if I wanted to, Liam's father would have me killed the moment I crossed the border. Then we don't go back. Ethan stood, pulling her up with him. Come on. We need to get you out of here before. The door burst open. Nora stood in the entrance, and she wasn't alone. 5 wolves flanked her, all in human form, all armed with silver blades. I was hoping you'd come, Nora said to Ethan. Saves us the trouble of hunting you down. Ethan moved instantly, positioning himself between Ava and the threat. Power rolled off him in waves, alpha dominance so strong it made the air shimmer. Stand down, he growled. Can't do that. Nora's expression was almost apologetic. We need you both. Ava's bloodline and your pack's military strength. Together, you could actually challenge the council. And if we refuse? Then you don't leave this compound alive. Nora's eyes flicked to Ava. I gave you a choice. Help us or die. That offer extends to your mate. Ava felt Ethan's muscles coil, preparing for violence. He could probably take 3, maybe 4 of the wolves. But not all 6 at once, not in an enclosed space. Wait. Ava stepped forward, moving to stand beside Ethan rather than behind him. I'll help you. But I have conditions. Nora's eyebrows rose. You're not in a position to negotiate. Yes, I am. Ava lifted her chin, channeling every ounce of strength she possessed. Because you need me alive and willing. If you try to force this, I'll fight you every step of the way. I'll sabotage everything you're trying to build. But if you agree to my terms, I'll give you what you want. A long silence. I'm listening, Nora said finally. First, Ethan and his pack stay safe. No threats, no manipulation, no using them as leverage against me. Done. Second, I want access to everything you know about Lunar Crest. Every record, every witness, every piece of evidence about what really happened. Agreed. Third, Ava took a breath. I want to talk to Liam. Alone. One conversation before any of this goes further. That made Nora hesitate. That's risky. If Marcus finds out. He won't. Ava's voice was steady. Because you're going to help me arrange it somewhere neutral. I need to hear the truth from Liam himself. I need to know if what you told me is real. Ethan made a low sound beside her. Ava could feel his displeasure through the bond. The idea of her meeting with her ex-mate clearly didn't sit well. But he didn't argue. His hand found hers, squeezed once. I trust you, the gesture said. Nora studied them both for a long moment. Then she nodded. You get your meeting. After that, you commit fully to our cause. Deal? Deal, Ava said. Good. Nora gestured to her wolves. Take them to the east wing. The rooms with actual beds. And for the love of the moon goddess, get them some clean clothes. As they were led from the cell, Ethan leaned close to Ava's ear. That was either very brave or very stupid, he murmured. Can't it be both? Ava shot back. His laugh was low, warm. I'm starting to think I got the best possible mate. You haven't seen me on a bad day. Sweetheart, Ethan's amber eyes gleamed, you were kidnapped, poisoned, imprisoned, and threatened. If this isn't a bad day, I can't wait to see you at your best. Despite everything, Ava smiled. She was terrified. Confused. Still grieving the loss of the life she'd thought she'd have. But for the first time since the bond with Liam shattered, she felt like maybe, just maybe, she could survive this. And possibly even come out stronger. The meeting was arranged for neutral ground, an abandoned chapel at the edge of unclaimed territory, exactly halfway between Silvermoon and Nora's compound. The building had once been beautiful, Ava thought, studying the crumbling stone archways and shattered stained glass. Now it was just another casualty of time and neglect. Like her relationship with Liam. You don't have to do this, Ethan said for the third time. He stood beside her in the overgrown cemetery, tension radiating from every line of his body. Whatever answers you think he has, they're not worth risking. I need to hear it from him. Ava turned to face her mate, reaching up to touch his jaw. The gesture felt natural already, like they'd been together for years instead of days. I need to know if Nora was telling the truth, or if this is all some elaborate manipulation. Ethan caught her hand, pressing a kiss to her palm. Then I'm coming in with you. No. Ava's voice was gentle but firm. He won't talk freely if you're there. Alpha posturing will take over, and I'll never get the truth. I don't like it. I know. She stood on her toes, pressing her forehead to his. The mate bond hummed between them, warm and reassuring. But I trust you to stay close enough to reach me if something goes wrong. Damn right I will. Ethan's arms came around her, holding her close for a long moment. You have 15 minutes. After that, I'm coming in whether he likes it or not. Ava pulled back with a small smile. My fierce protector. Always. His amber eyes held hers. And Ava? Whatever he says in there, it doesn't change us. You understand that? We're not some second-choice consolation prize. We're what was always meant to be. The word settled something anxious in her chest. She kissed him quickly, their first real kiss, and it sent electricity racing through her veins, then pulled away before she could lose her nerve. 15 minutes, she promised. Ethan's reluctant nod sent her walking toward the chapel alone. Liam was already inside, standing near what used to be the altar. He looked worse than she'd ever seen him, dark circles under his silver eyes, his usually immaculate appearance disheveled. His hands were shoved deep in his pockets, shoulders hunched like he was trying to make himself smaller. He looked up when she entered, and the naked pain in his expression nearly stopped her in her tracks. Ava. Her name came out broken. You're alive. When I heard about the kidnapping, I thought, he stopped, swallowing hard. I thought I'd lost you for real this time. You did lose me. Ava kept her distance, staying near the entrance. You made sure of that when you severed our bond. I know. Liam's laugh was bitter. Believe me, I know. Do you have any idea what it cost to break that bond? Not just emotionally, physically. Magically. I had to make a deal with a witch who does blood magic, Ava. I let her carve runes into my skin and burn away part of my soul just to sever the connection without killing you. Ava's breath caught. Why? Because my father found out what you are. Liam's silver eyes blazed. He discovered evidence that your lunar crest. The last heir. And he gave me 48 hours to either kill you myself or watch him destroy everything I've ever cared about. The confirmation hit harder than Ava expected, even though Nora had already told her. Hearing it from Liam made it real. So you chose to break me instead. Her voice was surprisingly steady. I chose to save your life. Liam's control cracked. Don't you understand? If we'd stayed bonded, you would have been tied to Silvermoon, to my bloodline, to my father. He would have used that connection to track you, control you, eventually kill you when the council gave the order. The council. Ava moved closer. Tell me about them. Liam's jaw clenched. What do you know? I know they orchestrated the massacre of Lunar Crest. I know your father helped plan it. I know they've been manipulating pack politics for centuries. Ava's hands curled into fists. What I want to know is, are you part of it? Did you know from the beginning what I was? No. The word came out fierce, immediate. I swear on my alpha oath, Ava, I had no idea until 3 weeks ago. When we first met, when the bond snapped into place, I thought you were just an orphan. A late shifter who happened to be my mate. But your father suspected. He suspected a lot of things. That's why he let you stay with the pack, to observe you, to see if you'd manifest any Lunar Crest abilities. Liam ran his hands through his hair. But you were so careful, Ava. You never showed your strength. Never pushed too hard. You made yourself small and quiet and forgettable. Because I learned early that being noticed got you punished, Ava said quietly. Liam flinched. I know. And I'm sorry. For all of it. For the years I made you hide our bond. For the times I stood with Charlotte while you served drinks. For every moment I made you feel like you weren't enough. I wasn't enough. Not for what you needed. You were everything I needed. The words exploded out of him. Don't you get it? You were kind, loyal, patient beyond measure. You loved me when I didn't deserve it, stood by me when I gave you nothing in return. You were the best thing that ever happened to me, and I destroyed it because I was too much of a coward to stand up to my father. Silence fell between them, heavy with years of unspoken truth. Did you love me? Ava asked. She needed to know. Needed to understand if any of it had been real. Yes. Liam's voice broke. Moon Goddess help me, yes. I loved you so much it terrified me. But I loved my pack too, and my family, and when my father made me choose, he stopped, shaking his head. I should have chosen you. I know that now. I should have run with you, found somewhere safe, built a new life together. But I didn't. I chose power and position and everything I'd been raised to value over the woman who actually mattered. Tears burned at the back of Ava's eyes. This was what she'd needed to hear 3 weeks ago. This admission, this regret. Now it just made everything more complicated. Charlotte was never your choice, Ava realized. She was part of the deal. My father arranged the engagement the day after I severed our bond. Liam's expression twisted with disgust. Married off to the beta's daughter to strengthen political alliances and produce acceptable heirs. She knows I don't love her. She doesn't care, as long as she gets to be Luna. You're still going through with it. I don't have a choice. If I refuse, my father will know something's wrong. He'll start asking questions, digging deeper. Liam took a step toward her. Ava, you need to understand, the council has eyes everywhere. Spies in every major pack. If they discover you're alive and active, they'll send kill teams. Not rogues with wolfsbane darts, trained assassins who won't stop until you're dead. Let them try. Ava's voice came out harder than she intended. I'm not running anymore, Liam. I'm not hiding. Then you're going to get yourself killed. His alpha power flared, making the air shimmer. This isn't some romantic rebellion, Ava. These are the 12 most powerful alphas in North America. They have armies. Resources. Centuries of experience eliminating threats. And I have something they don't. Ava pulled out her mother's pendant, watching Liam's eyes widen. I have the rightful claim to Lunar Crest. I have bloodline magic they thought was extinct. And I have allies who are tired of council tyranny. Nora. Liam practically spat the name. She's using you, Ava. She wants revenge for her own guilt, and she's willing to sacrifice you to get it. Maybe. Ava tucked the pendant back beneath her shirt. Or maybe she's giving me the truth you were too afraid to tell me. That hit home. Liam actually stepped back, like she'd physically struck him. I was trying to protect you, he said quietly. By lying? By breaking our bond and letting me think I wasn't good enough? Ava shook her head. Protection that destroys the person you're protecting isn't protection, Liam. It's control. And your new mate? The words came out sharp, jealous. Ethan Blackthorne? You think he's not trying to control you? He's an alpha, Ava. We're all controlling bastards when it comes to our mates. He asked me what I wanted to do. Ava's voice softened. Before we came here, before any of this was arranged, he told me he'd support whatever choice I made. Run, fight, hide, he didn't care as long as I was safe and happy. He's known you for 3 days. And he's shown me more respect in those 3 days than you did in 3 years. The truth of it settled over her. I loved you, Liam. Part of me probably always will. But what we had was built on secrets and shame and you waiting for me to be convenient. That's not fair. Isn't it? Ava moved closer, close enough to see the silver flecks in his eyes. Be honest. If your father hadn't discovered what I was, if the council wasn't a threat, would you have ever claimed me publicly? Would you have ever stood in front of your pack and said, this is my mate, and I choose her? Liam's silence was answer enough. That's what I thought. Ava turned to leave, then paused. There's something else. Something you need to know. What? The bond you severed? She looked back at him. It wasn't meant to exist in the first place. Ethan is my true mate. What you and I had was incomplete. A shadow of what a real mate bond should feel like. The color drained from Liam's face. That's impossible. So is a second chance mate. So is breaking an unbreakable bond. So is me being alive when my entire bloodline was supposedly extinct. Ava's smile was sad. Impossible seems to be my specialty. Ava, please. Liam reached for her. Don't do this. Don't throw yourself into this war just because you're angry at me. I'm not doing it because I'm angry. She stepped out of his reach. I'm doing it because 20 years ago, someone murdered my parents and destroyed my pack. And for 20 years, the wolves responsible have lived comfortable lives while I grew up alone, thinking I was nobody. You'll die, Liam said flatly. Maybe. Ava headed for the door. But at least I'll die knowing who I really am. Can you say the same? She left him standing in the ruined chapel, surrounded by broken glass and shattered dreams. Ethan was waiting exactly where she'd left him, tension vibrating through his frame. The moment he saw her, he crossed the distance between them in 3 long strides. Are you okay? His hands cupped her face, amber eyes searching hers for any sign of damage. I'm fine. Ava leaned into his touch. He confirmed everything Nora told us. The council, the massacre, his father's involvement. And he still loves me. The admission felt strange on her tongue. In his own broken, complicated way. Ethan's jaw tightened. Does that change anything for you? No. Ava was surprised by how certain she sounded. What Liam and I had was real, but it was also wrong. Built on the wrong foundation. He wanted to protect me by controlling me, by making decisions for me. She paused, finding the right words. You make me feel powerful. Like I can face anything as long as you're beside me. That's because you are powerful. Ethan's thumb traced her cheekbone. You just spent 3 years being told you weren't. But Ava, the woman who negotiated with Nora, who demanded answers from her ex-mate, who's standing here ready to face down the most powerful council in North America, that woman is a force of nature. Ava's breath caught. You really see me that way? I see you exactly that way. Ethan pulled her closer. And I can't wait to watch you burn their world down. The kiss that followed was different from their first. Deeper, more desperate, filled with promises and possibility. When they finally broke apart, Ava was breathless. I need to tell you something, she said. Something Liam said that's been bothering me. Tell me. He said the council has spies in every major pack. That they'll know the moment I make a move. Ava bit her lip. Ethan, what if Nora's group is compromised? What if we're walking into a trap? Then we spring it on our terms. Ethan's smile was sharp, predatory. I didn't become alpha by playing it safe, sweetheart. If the council wants a war, let's give them one they'll never forget. You're insane. Probably. His eyes gleamed. But I'm your insane mate, so you're stuck with me. Despite everything, the danger, the uncertainty, the impossible odds, Ava laughed. It felt good. Right. Come on, Ethan said, taking her hand. Let's get back before Nora sends a search party. We have a rebellion to plan. They walked together through the overgrown cemetery, leaving the chapel and its ghosts behind. But as they reached the tree line, Ava felt something shift in the air. A presence. Watching. She spun around, scanning the shadows. Nothing. Just old graves and dying light. What is it? Ethan was instantly alert, moving to shield her. I thought I felt. Ava trailed off. It was probably nothing. Paranoia from everything Liam had said. But as they disappeared into the forest, a figure emerged from behind the chapel. Tall, elegant, with platinum blonde hair and ice-blue eyes. Charlotte smiled, pulling out her phone. Daddy, she said sweetly when the call connected. You're never going to believe who I just saw meeting with the Nightshade Alpha. I think we've found our missing lunar crest heir. The line crackled as Beta Callum's voice came through, sharp with interest. Are you certain? Positive. Charlotte's smile widened. And even better, she has no idea we know. Should I inform the council? Not yet. Let her make her move first. The council prefers to eliminate threats when they're gathered in one place. A pause. Good work, Charlotte. Your alpha will be pleased. Charlotte hung up, tucking the phone away. She took one last look at the direction Ava and Ethan had gone, her expression calculating. Enjoy your rebellion while it lasts, little orphan, she murmured. It's about to become very, very short-lived. She disappeared into the shadows, leaving only the scent of expensive perfume and betrayal hanging in the air. The attack came at dawn. Ava woke to the sound of screaming and the acrid smell of silver-burning flesh. For a disorienting moment, she thought she was back in the cell, back in the nightmare of the rogue attack. Then Ethan's arms wrapped around her, yanking her from the bed. "We need to move. Now." His voice was pure alpha command, no room for argument. "What's happening?" "Council strike force. At least 30 wolves, maybe more." Ethan thrust close at her while pulling on his own. "They hit the compound's south entrance 3 minutes ago. Nora's fighters are trying to hold them, but..." An explosion rocked the building. Dust rained from the ceiling, and somewhere close, glass shattered. They'd been at Nora's compound for less than a week. 7 days of training, of Ava learning to access the power sleeping in her bloodline, of planning a careful campaign to expose the Council's crimes. 7 days of falling deeper in love with Ethan, of stolen kisses between strategy sessions, of believing they might actually have a chance. 7 days of walking straight into a trap. "Charlotte," Ava breathed, yanking on her boots. "She must have followed us from the chapel. She told the Council where we are. Doesn't matter right now." Ethan grabbed her hand. "What matters is getting you out alive." They burst into the corridor to find chaos. Nora's wolves ran in every direction, some heading toward the fight, others herding non-combatants to safety. Smoke billowed through the hallway, making Ava's eyes water. Nora appeared through the haze, blood streaking her face from a cut above her eye. "East exit. There's a tunnel that leads to the forest. I'll buy you time." "No." Ava pulled free from Ethan's grip. "I'm not running while people die for me." "Ava," Ethan started. "I'm Lunar Crest." The words came out fierce, certain. "My mother faced the Council 20 years ago, and she didn't run. I won't either." "Your mother died," Nora said bluntly. "Along with everyone she loved. Don't make me watch it happen again." Another explosion, closer this time. The floor beneath them cracked, stone splintering. "The tunnel," Ethan said, his tone leaving no room for argument. "We regroup, come back with a plan. Dying here accomplishes nothing." Ava wanted to argue, wanted to stand and fight, but the terrified faces of the wolves around her made the decision. These people had risked everything to protect her. The least she could do was not throw their sacrifice away. "Lead the way," she told Nora. They ran through corridors that seemed to shift and change as the building took damage. Twice they had to backtrack when passages collapsed. Through it all, Ava could hear the sounds of battle, snarls, screams, the distinctive ring of silver against claw. The east wing was intact, for now. Nora led them to what looked like a storage room, shoving aside crates to reveal a trapdoor. "The tunnel comes out 2 miles north," she said, hauling it open. "There's a safe house. Small, but secure. Wait there until..." A wolf crashed through the doorway behind them. Not one of Nora's fighters. This one wore tactical gear designed for werewolves, reinforced with silver mesh, designed to protect while allowing shifting. Council military. Elite. Ethan moved faster than Ava could track, his shift to wolf form instantaneous. His massive black form hit the Council wolf mid-leap, and they went down in a tangle of teeth and fury. "Go!" Nora shoved Ava toward the tunnel. "I'll help him." 2 more Council wolves appeared. Then 4. Then 6. They'd been waiting for this exact moment. Waiting for them to run. Ethan fought like a demon, taking down 2 wolves with vicious efficiency. But he couldn't get to Ava, couldn't reach her through the wall of enemies suddenly between them. Through their bond, Ava felt his desperation. His rage. His terror at being separated from his mate. "Ethan." She tried to push toward him, but Nora caught her arm. "The tunnel. Now. Nora was bleeding from multiple wounds, her breathing labored. Please, Ava. Don't let this be for nothing. A council wolf broke through, heading straight for Ava. She shifted without thinking, her golden wolf form emerging in a burst of instinctive power. The transformation felt different this time, faster, stronger, infused with the bloodline magic she'd been learning to access. She met the council wolf head-on, her jaws closing on his throat before he could react. The kill came easily, naturally, and some distant part of her mind registered shock at how little she felt about it. This was survival. This was war. More wolves poured in. Too many. Even with her newfound strength, even with Ethan's brutal fighting, they were outnumbered 5-1. Fall back. Nora's voice cut through the chaos. She'd shifted too, her grey wolf form larger than Ava expected. Everyone fall back to the tunnel. Ethan's golden eyes found Ava's across the melee. Go, his expression said. Please, go. Ava shook her head. She wouldn't leave him. Couldn't. Then she felt it, a surge of power so massive it made her wolf whimper. Alpha dominance, multiplied by 12. The council alphas had arrived. They entered the compound like avenging gods, 12 of the most powerful wolves in North America, their combined presence making the very air heavy. Ava recognized Liam's father immediately. Marcus had the same silver eyes, the same dark hair, but where Liam's face held conflict, Marcus's showed only cold determination. Enough. Marcus's voice carried the weight of absolute authority. Stand down, or I'll execute every wolf here. The fighting stopped. Nora's wolves, already outmatched and outnumbered, had no choice but to obey. Marcus's eyes scanned the room, then locked onto Ava. Recognition flashed across his face, followed by something that looked almost like regret. The lost lunar crest heir, he said. You look like your mother. She had the same defiant eyes. Ava shifted back to human form, forcing herself to stand straight despite the terror clawing at her throat. Someone tossed her clothes a small mercy. She dressed quickly, never breaking eye contact with Marcus. You murdered her, Ava said. Murdered my entire pack. I executed traitors. Marcus moved closer, his power pressing down on her like a physical weight. Your mother was planning to destroy the pack structure that's kept our kind stable for centuries. We did what was necessary. You killed children. We eliminated a threat. No remorse, no hesitation. And we'll do it again. Ethan growled, a sound that promised violence. Marcus's gaze shifted to him. Ethan Blackthorn. Nightshade Alpha. Marcus's expression hardened. Harboring a fugitive, conspiring against the council, mating with forbidden bloodline, any one of those crimes carries a death sentence. Then execute me, Ethan snarled, shifting back to human form. But you leave her alone. I'm afraid I can't do that. Marcus gestured, and council wolves moved forward. Both of you are coming with us. Along with Nora and anyone else involved in this little rebellion. No. Ava stepped forward, feeling her mother's pendant pulse against her chest. You want me? Fine. I'll go willingly. But you let them go. All of them. Ava, don't, Ethan started. I'm the heir you're afraid of, Ava continued, speaking only to Marcus. I'm the one with lunar crest blood. These others were just trying to protect me. Let them go, and I'll come quietly. I'll even renounce my claim to lunar crest, publicly state that the council was justified. Ava, no. Nora's voice cracked with desperation. But Ava kept going. I'll do whatever you want. Just let them live. Marcus studied her for a long moment. Then he smiled, and it was the coldest thing Ava had ever seen. No, he said simply. You'll come with us anyway. And we'll execute the others as an example of what happens to wolves who challenge council authority. The words hit like physical blows. Ava felt her knees buckle, felt the world tilt. However, Marcus continued, I am not without mercy. Ethan Blackthorne, as a fellow alpha, I'll give you a choice. Renounce your mate bond with the Lunar Crest heir, return to Nightshade territory, and never speak of this again, and I'll spare your pack from retribution. Never. Ethan's response was instant, absolute. Your pack will be slaughtered. Every wolf, every child. Nightshade will cease to exist. Marcus's voice never wavered. Is she really worth that? Through their bond, Ava felt Ethan's anguish. His pack wasn't just his responsibility, they were his family. Wolves he'd grown up with, children he'd watched being born, elders who'd guided him. And Marcus was asking him to choose between them and her. Don't, Ava whispered. Ethan, don't sacrifice your pack for me. I'm not leaving you. Ethan moved to stand beside her, taking her hand. Whatever happens, we face it together. How noble. Marcus's expression didn't change. And foolish. Very well. You've made your choice. He raised his hand, and council wolves moved forward with silver chains. That's when Liam burst through the doorway. He was in human form, breathing hard like he'd run the entire way. His silver eyes were wild, desperate, and when he saw Ava in chains, something in his expression shattered. Father, stop this. Liam moved to stand between Marcus and Ava. Please. I did what you asked, I severed the bond, I'm marrying Charlotte. I've done everything you demanded. And you did well, Marcus said. But this is bigger than your personal drama, son. This is about the survival of our species. By murdering innocent wolves? Liam's hands clenched. By executing people whose only crime was trying to protect someone you've been lying about for 20 years? Careful, Marcus warned. But Liam didn't back down. I've been researching. I know what really happened with Lunar Crest. Mother knew too, that's why she killed herself, wasn't it? Because she couldn't live with what you'd done. The temperature in the room dropped. Several council members shifted uncomfortably. Your mother was weak, Marcus said flatly. She couldn't understand the difficult choices leadership requires. She understood you were a murderer. Liam's voice shook. And I won't let you do it again. Not to Ava. You don't have a choice. I'm Alpha of Silvermoon. Liam drew himself up, power rolling off him. I have every choice. And I'm invoking the right of challenge. Silence fell like a hammer. The right of challenge was ancient, sacred. Any Alpha could challenge another for leadership, for justice, for protection of the innocent. If Marcus refused, he'd lose face in front of the entire council. You would challenge me? Marcus's voice was soft, dangerous. Your own father? For her? Liam's eyes found Ava's. Yes. I would. Ava's throat tightened. After everything, after the lies, the broken bond, the betrayal, Liam was still trying to save her. Very well. Marcus smiled that cold smile again. I accept your challenge. When you lose, Silvermoon Pack will be forfeit to the council. And the girl dies anyway. And when I win, Liam countered, Ava goes free. Along with Ethan, Nora, and everyone here. Agreed. Marcus began to shift. Let's see if you're worthy of the bloodline you're so eager to defend. The two wolves circled each other, Marcus in his massive alpha form, silver gray and terrifying, Liam slightly smaller but faster, driven by desperate determination. Ava wanted to look away. Couldn't. This was her fault. All of it. If she just stayed hidden, stayed small and forgettable. Ethan's hand found hers. This isn't on you, he murmured, reading her thoughts through the bond. This is 20 years of council tyranny finally coming to a head. The fight was brutal, savage. Father against son, old power against new. Marcus fought with cold efficiency, every move calculated to maim, to kill. Liam fought with wild emotion, love and rage and guilt fueling every strike. Blood splattered the floor. Liam landed a devastating blow to Marcus's shoulder. Marcus retaliated with claws across Liam's ribs. They were going to kill each other. Ava felt the moment it shifted. Felt the exact second Liam realized he couldn't win this fight. He was good, but Marcus was better, older, more experienced, completely willing to kill his own son. Liam went down, Marcus's jaws closing around his throat. Not hard enough to kill. Not yet. But enough to force submission. Yield, Marcus growled around his mouthful of Liam's flesh. Liam's eyes found Ava's one last time. I'm sorry, they seemed to say. I tried. Then something inside Ava snapped. Power exploded out of her, not the small bursts she'd been learning to control, but a tidal wave of ancient lunar crest magic. The pendant at her neck blazed with light, symbols glowing white-hot. Stop. Her voice carried alpha command she didn't know she possessed, multiplied by bloodline magic that made every wolf in the room drop to their knees. Even the council alphas. Even Marcus. Ava's shift came without conscious thought, her wolf form larger than it had been before, golden fur gleaming with power. The chains binding her shattered like glass. She crossed the distance to Marcus in 2 bounds, slamming into him with enough force to send him flying. He crashed into the wall, stunned. Ava stood over Liam's injured form, every instinct screaming protect pack, defend mate, except Liam wasn't her mate anymore, and this wasn't her pack. But she'd be damned if she let him die for her. You want Lunar Crest? Ava's wolf voice reverberated through the room, layered with the power of every alpha who'd come before her. You want to eliminate a threat? Here I am. Face me yourself, Marcus, or are you only brave enough to murder sleeping packs? Marcus shifted back to human form, blood running from his nose. He looked at her with something that might have been shock. Impossible, he breathed. You shouldn't be able to access that power. You're too young, too untrained. My mother died protecting me from you. Ava's wolf form seemed to glow brighter. My pack was slaughtered in their sleep. And for 20 years, I survived on nothing but instinct and will. You think that didn't make me strong? She shifted back to human form, standing naked and unashamed in front of the council, power crackling around her like lightning. New terms, she said. Let everyone go, Ethan, Liam, Nora, all of them. In exchange, I'll come with you peacefully. No fighting, no resistance. And if we refuse? Another council alpha asked. Ava's smile was sharp as knives. Then I'll show you exactly why your predecessors feared Lunar Crest enough to destroy it. And this time, I won't be a 6-year-old child sleeping in her bed. This time, I'll fight back. The threat hung in the air. Ava could feel their fear, their uncertainty. They'd expected a scared girl, easily controlled. Not this, not an alpha in her own right, wielding power they thought extinct. Marcus's expression hardened. Take her. Council wolves moved forward. And Ethan's howl split the air, a call for help that carried for miles. Within seconds, wolves poured into the compound. Not council members. Nightshade wolves, dozens of them, responding to their alpha's distress. And behind them. You called for backup without telling me? Ava shot Ethan a look. His human smile was quick, fierce. I'm not stupid, sweetheart. You think I'd walk into a potential council ambush without insurance? The odds had shifted. Now it wasn't 12 council alphas against a handful of rebels. It was 12 alphas against Nightshade Pack, Nora's fighters, and one very angry Lunar Crest heir. This is your last chance, Ava said to Marcus. Let us go, or start a war you might not win. For the first time, she saw doubt flicker across Marcus's face.